Let's go. Welcome to Seth's Smorgasbord Sports, coming to you from the Fan Zone here at 51 West Studios. I want to say thank you to everyone that subscribed to my channel recently and everyone that subscribed to it so far. We're still building up, but we're getting there. So I really appreciate everyone that's jumped on so far, and I'll appreciate you too if you click subscribe on this video right now. Subscribe right there. It's right down there somewhere, so click it. Link up. All right. NFL this week. Super exciting, okay? Like, week 6, we're just starting to get into the nitty-gritty of the NFL, like the middle of the season. October football, November football is when it starts getting really good. But we had the Thursday night game to start off the week. Patriots eviscerating the Giants, but, the biggest game on Sunday, in my opinion, has to be, I guess the Cowboys getting embarrassed by the Jets. I mean, nobody expected that. I know Sam Darnold came back and everyone was kind of hyped for that. That's a Jets fan because he hasn't been playing because of the mono. But the Cowboys, they're supposed to be running away with the NFC East right now. The Eagles have been down. The Giants aren't that good. The Redskins are a joke. So, why aren't the Cowboys running away with this division? Instead, they're right deadlocked with the Eagles. And honestly, 9 wins could win this division. So we'll see. I mean, it could heat up here soon, but one of the teams could get hot. But I don't know. That's a weird division right now, and the Cowboys really shouldn't have lost that game. I can't believe they lost. They should have won that game by 20 points. But there's a lot of other crazy games this weekend. You had the Seahawks and the Browns were winning that game 20-6, and then they gave up the lead, and then they took the lead back, and then Russell Wilson's helmet microphone, the feed that goes to his coordinator stopped working in his helmet, which, I'm not trying to blame it on the Browns or anything, but it did happen in an away game, and it didn't happen to the Browns, so who knows? It could have been an equipment malfunction on the Seahawks' behalf, but it could have been the Browns' fault. Who knows? I'm not pointing fingers, but anyway, his feed went off in his head, so he couldn't get any plays from his coordinator, and Russell Wilson called all the plays himself and drove down and scored the game-winning touchdown. And then Baker Mayfield came back and threw an interception for good measure. So, that game was pretty awesome. It's good to see Baker Mayfield crumble. And, because, he's very unlikable. He's proven it throughout all this season. He kind of proved it to me throughout the offseason.
Browns try to cheat and still lose.
Yeah, who knows? You can call it a cheat, you can call it a malfunction, whatever. But that happens, and the Seahawks still win. So that's a big game for Seattle. They're in the lead. Well, they haven't lost. The 49ers haven't lost yet, but they both have the same amount of wins because the 49ers had a bye week. So 5-1 and 5-0. Those two teams are both really good. NFC West is really good. The Rams lost to the 49ers this week, 20-7. The Rams are a good team, but they just lost at home to San Francisco. So I think San Francisco is a really good team. They made vast improvements this offseason. And it looks like the Rams have slipped a little bit. Everybody's kind of getting to know what they're up to, and they're not really taking anyone by surprise this year. But another game that blew my mind this week, man. Chiefs-Texans. I thought the Chiefs would bounce back after losing Sunday Night Football to the Colts last week. They weren't sharp on offense, and I thought Patrick Mahomes would come back firing, especially with Tyreek Hill back. And he did hit Tyreek for a big play, and they scored 24 points, but they lost to Deshaun Watson, 31-24. The Texans have looked really good so far this year, and the Chiefs look beatable. They're not a lock to make the AFC title game versus the Patriots, in my opinion. There's a lot of upstart teams in the AFC, like the Texans, Colts, maybe the Ravens. I'm not going to say that yet because, winning games shakily against bad teams like they did this week against the Bengals only by 6 points. But you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of teams in the AFC that could at least give the Chiefs a game in the playoffs. And just kind of showed they lost at Arrowhead to a really good quarterback, so anything can happen in the NFL on a weekly basis. Teddy Bridgewater guided the Saints to another win in Drew Brees' absence. They play the Bears next week, but it was a tough defensive game versus Jacksonville. He kind of game managed his way through it again. He had a big game the week before, but came back down to what he's usually probably going to produce. But with a good team around him, Teddy can win games, and he has a great team around him in New Orleans, and he's been filling in really well for the Saints. I think they're right on track to be right where they want to be at the end of the season, as long as Drew Brees comes back healthy. But that Steelers-Chargers game last night, I don't think anyone picked the Chargers to lose that game. Okay, the Steelers had a third-string quarterback playing. odds were stacked against them. They had to go to the West Coast and play, and the Chargers go and crap the bed like they're prone to doing. So they're a 2-4 ball club, and I kind of said it before the season started. Like, I thought Denver would be better, but it looks like Oakland is better than both of those teams. They're better than the Chargers, and they're better than the Broncos as of this moment. They're running the ball better, and they're playing meaner defense than both of those teams. So I'm not trying to sound like a crazy person, like at risk of ruining my reputation. Like, the Raiders are kind of competing for a wild card spot, like, as of week 6. And I don't think they'll be there at the end of the season, but they're hanging in right now, and I got to give them some respect for that. They had a bye week this week, but their division's looking tough. Like, with the Chiefs and everything. Broncos stepped up and won their last 2 games after starting 0-4, but the Raiders look like they can beat Denver. They beat them earlier in the season. I'm sure they could beat the Chargers at this moment. That Cardinals-Falcons game was really exciting in my opinion. It was 34-33, Arizona. 2 teams that have offense but like no defense, so it was, there was going to be points, and if you love to watch scoring, that was a game to watch. Matt Ryan versus Kyler Murray. Matt Ryan's been lighting it up all season. He has Julio and Calvin Ridley and Devontae Freeman, but the Falcons' defense is so bad, and so is the Cardinals' defense for that matter, but someone had to win that game, and they won by a point, and it was an exciting game, so I thought that was really cool. That was a good game between 2 lame teams. At least they gave us something to like watch, and it wasn't just crap. The Lions play the Packers tonight at Lambeau Field on Monday Night Football. I'm looking forward to that game. Like, I am, like, the Cardinals play the Nationals tonight, but I'll be flipping between baseball and football. I'd like to see if the Lions can go in Lambeau Field and compete with Aaron Rodgers, kind of similar to the way they competed against Patrick Mahomes at Detroit a couple weeks ago. And it should be a really good game. The Lions have been playing good football. Obviously, the Packers have been playing really good football, so hopefully it turns out to be a good game and not a flub. It could be an upset. Who knows? It should be a really good game to watch. I'm really looking forward to it. But, this was an exciting week in the NFL. Like I said, it starts to heat up around this time. Week 6, just moving on into week 7, there's another great slate of games next week, and I'm sure it'll be just as exciting as this week because, it just gets better from this point on out. Every week it seems like until like week 17 when it gets lame. But I love this part of the season. It's like not at the beginning anymore, but you're not close enough to the end to feel like, oh, football's almost over. So you're like right in the middle of it. It's like the perfect time to be watching football. So if you're loving football right now, like this video, comment, let me know what you think of your team, what they've been doing. Just subscribe to my channel, for more football content, more sports content. I really appreciate all my subscribers. Check out my Facebook page if you want more sports talk. Take it easy. Bye-bye.